Hello, everybody. Welcome. This is Katrina, Sow and Tare live stream. We do this every Monday night at 6 p.m. Pacific time. And if you're new here, see how this works. We go through and I talk about with all the comments. Start off with a bunch of hellos and highs. We are all family friendly, please. And it's a good old time. Go ahead and ask questions, anything about homestead relating questions or discussion topics that you're looking at. And somewhere in the middle, which might be a little earlier in the middle tonight, we're going to talk about our topic of discussion, pre-planned. So here we go. I was a couple minutes late because my neighbor's dog is going to be euthanized tomorrow, and so I needed to spend some time with her and him. So that's why I'm a little late. Sorry. All right. Verna's first here. Vase places Verna. She is blue with a little wrench, and she's the one that catches bad guys. My moderator. Welcome, Verna. If you're interested in growing in a apartment setting, she has a channel that is good for you. It showed me as third. Hi, Verna. Joy, hello all from Western Oregon. Hi, Joy. I hope you're doing well. I hope your birdies are doing well. I hope your family's doing well. Yeah. Welcome, welcome. Kelly's here. Hey, I'm here. Probably not for long. Got serious health issues in the house. Got to try and get some sleep because hubby's biopsy tomorrow morning. Oh my gosh. Good luck. Get rest. Stay hydrated. Maybe break out some fire cider if you have some. But definitely get some rest. And thank you for stopping by. Yeah, Verna's saying same thing. Hope all goes well. Dawn, hi Dawn. Says you were second, but oh man, you said you were third? All right. Dawn's here. Welcome, Dawn. And all right, Dawn says, hi Kelly. Hope things get better for you all. I won't be staying long either. Oh. All right. Oh, awesome. Verna had her daughter over on Saturday and apparently had a blast. That sounds awesome. Very, very good. I'm so glad of that. Let's see. YouTube lies. Hey, PJ's Family Farms here. Hello, 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 she says. Hello, PJ. Welcome. And in case anybody has not signed up yet and wants to, here is your reminder. We have our very first Katrina's Kits Cook With Me Live on this Saturday. So we're doing Saturday this weekend, hoping that will get a couple other people that don't do Sundays to be there, and it's gonna be fun. We are making pear and cheese raviolis with a roasted garlic sauce, and it's gonna be tasty. So that link will allow you to join the membership. All right. All right. Further connections, Kelly says, I hope so too. But on the business aspect, been selling birds, eggs, and meat left and right. That is awesome, Kelly. I just put out this weekend, I think it might have been Friday, put the little bit older than 4-week-old. I thought they were a lot older than 4-week-old when I put them out, but they're about 4 weeks old. Out in the main aviary, and they are doing all right. And I only had a little bit of bullying from one of the little girls that was hatched in the aviary. So there you go. All right. Everybody sending good thoughts to Kelly's family. All right. Everybody saying hello. Andy Rabbit says, how is everyone doing? Hi, Andy Rabbit. I'm doing all right. Doing all right. Do have a question for you. Let's share good news. So our little buck bunny, which we're going to name in a little, well, we're going to ask for names in a little bit. Not right now, guys. I should open my document while we're talking about this. I did what you suggested and have him on, like, it's just a big bowl with a huge amount of food in it. And eating less than he did before. I think he's eating a much more reasonable amount. He's not scarfing his food. So here's my question. It's been a week now, or it will be by tomorrow. How do I wean him off of that? Andy Rabbit, since you told me the first part, you got to tell me the second part. So for those that didn't make it last week, our little buck bunny has been scarfing his meals. And so I had thought, well, maybe I should spread it out over the day. And so I was feeding him 3 times a day, spread out, like take his portion, divide it, and then spread it out. And I think he was getting a scarcity mindset, which is what Andy Rabbit was saying, is that he thinks he's not getting fed again. So anyway, I was trying to get him not to scarf, and that was not the right way to do it. But I think putting a lot of food in front of him so that it shows him that he doesn't have to scarf is a good thing. So how do I get him off of that now? All right. Buster's here. Hey to all. Welcome, Buster. Hope you're doing well. All right. You're late off with your head? Hey, I was late because I was spending time with a neighbor who is euthanizing her dog tomorrow. So, and he is a dog that I have dog sat since I moved to Gilroy. I think he's 15. So good thoughts to her and to the doggy. Please. He's been going through some stuff. So yeah. All right. Silver Creek Wildlife. Hi, Tommy. Welcome. It says howdy, y'all. All right. Welcome, everybody. All right. Everybody just saying hi. Ed Got Bates here. Welcome. Says hi, everyone. Andy Rabbit was first and I was second. But as always, it vanishes. You're just a magician. You're that good that you're just vanish. Welcome, Ed. All right, everybody's saying hi. I put the link there for the Katrina's Kits. Cook with me live. That's happening again Saturday. I'll say that a few times. More people might be joining. And yeah, let's go from there. And Saturday there's a birthday at my shire. I did not know that. I generally don't write down birthdays like I should, but happy birthday to whoever's birthday that is. PJ says, if I had a smoker going, I'd smoke the ricotta for the ravioli. That sounds good. I do not have that tool. I've been told I have too many kitchen tools, PJ. I do not believe it. I do not have enough. I do not have a big enough kitchen is the issue. Or storage. That is the issue I have. Yeah, that sounds good. I've never smoked anything. I can actually say that, but I've never smoked food. I have heard of people doing quail eggs, and you just roll the egg so it just cracks a little bit, but not through the membrane, and that leaves little like black or smoky streaks on them. I've never done it, but it sounds like pretty cool. Yeah. It's Zach's wife's birthday on Saturday. Awesome. Happy birthday to her. Okay, that's good. A little less each day till there is a little left over. So basically let him eat the way down. That sounds like a good way to do it. Yeah, I thank you for making that suggestion, because I was really struggling with him. I'm like, you do not need this much food. I started giving him more, and I'm like, oh, what are you doing? Yeah. So I will do that and report back. Thank you very much. Yeah. Andy Rett says, your poor neighbor. It's never an easy day. Absolutely. Absolutely. Bob's here. Howdy, y'all. Welcome, Bob. I hope you're doing well. Oh, I didn't say this before. There's a big storm going on, not where I am. Did not come from me. If Steve is on, tell him it did not come from me. I hope everybody's doing well with the storm, or will do well with the storm, and continue to do well with the storm, because it looks like a pretty big one. Yeah. All right. Andy wants a smoker. There you go. There's your next. It's not really a kitchen tool, is it? What do we call that? Yeah. PJ says, you can never have too many kitchen tools. Just need a bigger kitchen. I have smoked quail eggs. So yummy. Awesome. Awesome. And Verna says, you can actually cook the egg in the smoker. Yeah, that's what they do, is they cook it in, like, I think by smoking it, you cook it in that. Let me know if that's correct or incorrect, PJ, since you're the one that did it. Andy Rabbit says, I'm going to do smoked quail eggs someday, hopefully soon. Awesome. David's here. Welcome, David. Welcome. All right. Bob says, I forgot what you use for waters for the quail. I use cups with yellow valve. They tap. That's what I use. High temp today. 20 had to go pour warm water in cups every hour. Oh, so I have not used heat tape. That's what I would try first if I lived in an area that consistently got below freezing. I didn't actually check the temperature until 9 today, because I was like, oh, I wonder what it was last night. Okay, I'm going to go to work. And I'm working, and I'm like, oh, I should probably check the temperature. And it was like 35 degrees at like 9. We got frost. So I think it probably froze. But that's what I would try first without having experience at all. But they do make a heat tape that I think if you put it along there, it probably would get enough heat in there. Maybe not if it got super cold, but I don't know. Tell me if somebody's tried it, or try it and then tell me. Say that was a silly idea, or that was a fantastic idea. Yeah. Verna says, our storm was nothing. Okay. And Don says, my storms are from Andy Rabbit. Oh, boy. Andy Rabbit says, you're welcome, Katrina. He will soon learn. He will have food and not starve. Yeah, I mean, he literally was just scarfing it up. So I think he probably was with his brothers probably up until a couple days before I had him. Because I think she said they were separated at that point. Or maybe she was separating them. I don't remember. Anyway, yeah, thank you. Hopefully he's more comfortable. Okay, so PJ says, yes, that's how I cook the eggs in the smoker. Yep, I thought so. David Lister says, popcorn has begun with 115 jumbo white wing eggs. Tomorrow may be interesting. Good luck and congratulations all in the same day. So my Raviary is the one with the light on it, which if you guys saw the video from today, not sure how many lights. I'm not sure how long the light was off for, but the light was off. And of course, when you go and you feed them in the daytime and the light's not on yet, you don't know. And then when you go and you feed them after the light has already been off or should be off, then you don't know. So yeah, I actually don't know how long the light's been off. They stopped laying. Also during that time, the compost has been sifted. It's still being sifted. We're getting tons of compost out of this deep litter system. So far, the Raviary, which I think is a little smaller than the aviary, so far, Manuel's been doing it. He didn't have work. He got 19 feed bags of compost out, sifted, and he hasn't even done half of it. And then the main aviary, we got, I think it was like 36 feed bags out of. I mean, it's a ridiculous amount, and it's going to be awesome to use. Anyway, that's my story. I don't know how we got there, but that's my story. Oh, they are not laying. That's my story. Eggs, they're not laying. And then I did notice that there's still some ladies that are like, they're like growing feathers. They're on that side of molting. And they didn't stop laying for the longest time. And I'm wondering if maybe that, plus maybe it getting cold, plus they're being disturbed with no light, and plus they're being disturbed with the sifting, it might just all be too much for them to handle right now. So I'm hoping we get eggs soon. And I'm hoping I don't have to buy eggs for Saturday. I have some from like a week ago that I'm just like holding on. But we may have to buy eggs for raviolis. How ridiculous was that? So ridiculous. On the upside, and I wish I had my phone on me when this happened, I went out today and I pet all my chickens. And, you know, they're not too into it in the winter. Rexy did this. Okay, who knows what that means? I'm not going to tell you until I get down to it. Somebody's going to know what that means. Rexy's the name of a chicken. All right. I will get down to that later. Andy Rabbit says, not my storm. Just a small amount of sleet at 37 degrees, then rain for the rest of the day. Not my storm, Dawn. All right. Buster wants to know for PJ, how long do you smoke the eggs? Verna says, 35 there now. Man. Andy Rabbit's talking to David. Congratulations and best of cracking luck. Dawn says, I knew the sleet I got this evening was from you. All right, PJ's instructions for smoking eggs is, I think, about 45 minutes if I remember correctly. All right, that is good enough. I don't know if you hear that, but the dishwasher feels it necessary to sing a song when the dishes are done. Okay, there we go. All right, Bob says, I have a thermocube. I bought some thermocubes, and you're going to have to tell me more about them because I'm like, oh, okay, let me back up. We're going on a tangent. When I got my citrus at first, and it was cold winters then, and I had like real Christmas lights, not these LED lights, and then realized after the first 2 months, because PG&E did not send me my bill for the first month, and I missed that it didn't come. They didn't send it because they didn't think it was right. Yeah, I got some money back on that because they didn't tell me things were due because it was so much. I had those C9, the big bulbs on my Christmas lights on my citrus to keep them alive. Turns out you don't need that. Turns out in my area, all you need is it to be warm enough for the air to move, which the little twinkle lights do just fine. Not the LED ones, the little tiny ones. So I was going to put that on a thermocube and do that, but then you can't control the temperature, and the temperature has to be like, the cube has to be where the temperature is, and I wanted the cube to be inside where the plug is. You see this thought process here? So I end up not using them, and I have no idea where they are. I do. They're probably either in the screen and porch or in the garage. So tell me more about your thermocube, because I want to know if they actually, one, if they actually work, and two, if they, like, is there a programmable one? All right, now I will actually read your comment, Bob. I have a thermocube controlled heater in 5-gallon bucket, and recirculation pump keeps the main line okay, but the cups and tea fittings freeze. That is why I was suggesting the heat tape. It's called heat tape. Let me look it up. And I've never used it. There's a whole bunch of different kinds. Yeah, just look up heat tape, and there's an electric kind that you can, it's actually like a heated cord. Yeah. And then let me know how it works. Dawn said, or Andy Rabbit says, well, Dawn, if it's from me, it should only be an hour or so. There you go. All right. PJ heard I was giving out her recipe, so she decided to put a real recipe. Smoked quail eggs, get smoker temp to about 225 Fahrenheit. Put raw quail eggs directly on the smoker rack. Put favorite wood, either pellets or chunks, depending on what you use. Smoke quail eggs for about an hour and 10 minutes. Crack one to determine doneness. Enjoy. So good. I am going to take a little clippy clip of that and put it in this Word document I have open so that I have that for later. PJ, if you would like to share that on the Friends of Sow and Tare Facebook group, people might appreciate that. And here's the Sow and Tare Facebook group. In case you guys have not joined yet, please answer all the questions and accept the, that we have rules. Agree to the rules. Because otherwise we don't let you in. Yeah, that's awesome. All right. Bob says 16 here now. Time to give them water again. All right. Hey, Steve's here. It's not my storm, Steve. Not my storm. We've all agreed that the storm has come from, I don't know. Did it come from Andy Rabbit? That's what Dawn's saying, at least. Brr, it'll be cold here. This rain is cold, cold, cold. Oh, hello, y'all. Welcome, Steve. You guys are getting rain too, huh? Is it freezing rain? Because that stuff's not fun. Yeah. Dawn has a question for PJ. Do you have to turn the quail eggs inside the smoker? I think the smoker should smoke it like all the way around. I think the only reason, personally, I haven't done this. Don't pay attention to me. Pay attention to PJ. But personally, I think the only reason you might want to turn it is if there is a reason that you want the yolk in the center, because the yolk and the white are different densities. And that's why you stir eggs when they boil. Oh, PJ says no, you don't have to. Okay. Okay. Andy Rabbit says the storms are about 1 and 1, 2 to 2 hours about me this time. I don't know what that means. They're short storms. Okay. All right. Brenda says going to have a pool on what day you'll be getting eggs. Sure. What day you guys think I'll start getting eggs? I got one the day that I'm like, come on, guys, where's your eggs? But other than that, yeah. All right. Winner, winner. Maybe not chicken dinner. Andy Rabbit says she wanted you to pet her back because she wants a boyfriend. In case you just came on. The question was, why did Rexy the chicken, when I was petting them today, go like this? So if your chicken is doing that, it's fine. Just give them scratchies. Just get them really good scratchies. That's what they're asking for. My girls don't have a boyfriend. So they asked me to be their boyfriend. There you go. Steve says, is your hen taking over the masculine rooster role? No. Nope. That's not happening. I have heard of that happening, but they don't really have anything to protect each other from because they're in a very secure place and they have a roof over them. So I think that likely happens when it's a bigger flock and then when they have like aerial predators to keep track of and stuff. So what Steve is talking about is that sometimes in a flock where there are hens and no roosters, there is a head hen that will assume the role of rooster, being the alert call and being the sentinel and all that. So yeah. Andy Rabbit says, hey Steve, you're late. Off with your head. She said that to me too. I don't know, Andy Rabbit. Steve says, I'm not late, Andy. I'm frozen. Come get your weather out of my yard. hey, he's off of me right now. He's not saying it's coming from California. Oh, but Andy Rabbit's not claiming it. Uh-oh. Dawn says, sleet and snow. I think now rain is starting. Man, that's kind of the most dangerous time to go out and about because it's right on the edge there. You can get some really slippery stuff. Andy Rabbit says, I think I messed up and my oranges might have gotten a little frozen. If there are... Did it rain first? Okay. Here's some random trivia from California and potentially Florida. In California, in the citrus fields, what are they called? Orchards. There's two things they do for unseasonable, freezing and temperatures and stuff like that. One is they'll put fans out there, and that will rotate the air enough that the air can't settle on something. And then two is they'll actually put out sprinklers and overhead water the citrus grove, so that on purpose these things will freeze around the fruits and on the leaves. And while they will have some damage that way, when you do that on the mass scale and it's actually frozen around instead of frost, like a thick frost, they survive better. So somebody who actually knows like the interactions and stuff will have to explain that. But there is something to do with warmth happening at the point of freezing. And it sounds ridiculous. And I looked it up at some point when they were doing that in California. It was a few years ago. We had this really, really cold winter, and they were like freezing things on purpose. And it was really weird. But if you guys are interested in that, you can go ahead and look that up. So if it rained first, you might be okay. I still might go out and, your flowers might not make it. But if your fruit is close to ripe or ripe, I might go out and pick them. Throwing a sheet over them will also be fine if you're not to that point yet. There you go. Random trivia. Steve says, yes, it is heat tape. You put it on plumbing in crawl spaces. Awesome. And Dawn's no longer mad at you for your storm, Andy Rabbit. She says, oh no, not your oranges. Yep. All right, Bob has Thermocube information. Thermocube works great. It is plugged into extension cord, and the Thermocube is sitting on top of the hutch under a metal roof. That's a good idea. Turns on heater and pump at 42 degrees. I have a return line to run water. Okay, so the line is circulating. Awesome. I am glad that works. And I have some somewhere. I don't even know how many. Probably 3, I think. Yeah. Dawn says, Andy, I'm so sorry. I wonder if they can make a comeback. I mean, the plants probably will. Once a citrus tree is about an inch wide in diameter on the trunk, it survives a lot of things. Now, it's not going to survive, super, super, super cold, but it can survive a lot more things. I don't know how big yours is, though. Yeah. Steve says, my storm came from Andy's dad's house. Andy says, I don't know, Dawn. I'm hoping so. Yeah. Verna says, we are having mixed precipitation, but the ground is warm, so I don't think there will be any ice. That's good. Still be careful when you go outside. Hey, Val's here. Hey, everyone. Hope you all are well. Doing okay over here. Doing okay. Verna thinks that I'm going to get eggs on Saturday. We will see. I'll let you guys know. So we have a couple things going on. One, they're on the tail end of molting, talking quail. So tail end of molting. Not sure how long the light was out. I think it was only a few days, but not sure how long the light was out. And then the third thing is we're in there sifting compost, which I kind of think is the least of their worries because they're having so much fun digging in the stuff. Like when you disturb them that way, it's not really actually disturbing them because they're like, ooh, what's that? Ooh, what's that? I want to do this. And they have blast. So that is what's going on for that. Bob says, I used Talkwork for Thurman. We sold all kinds. Oh, you used to work. I can read. We sold all kinds of heat tape, but I don't want to insulate all the PVC lines. My only issue is the T-fittings and the cups. I mean, you could put some Christmas lights on them. I don't know. Probably not for that temperature. But some like actual like some old Christmas lights. I don't know. Oops. Hang on. I got to find you guys again. All right. Val snuck up, huh? Val is here. Almost 2:30 a.m. where you are, right, Val? Verna asked. Yep, 2:30 and really cold. Forecast heavy snow tomorrow. Oh my gosh, everybody's getting snow. We're not getting snow, at least not that I know of. Tomorrow is supposed to be rainy. I think like 10 or something like that. But it has been somewhat cold here. Not cold, like real cold. It's cold, California cold. All right. Verna's daughter came out and spent time with her. That is awesome. Awesome. Good start to the new year. All right. Andy says, my citrus trees are under my carport, so no rain, but cold wind. Okay. Well, I hope they recover then. And Don says to Verna, I'm so happy for you having a great time with your daughter. Did she taste quail yet? That is a good question. Did she help you dispatch the rest of them? Dawn says, Katrina, Andy knows I'm not mad at her for the storm, and I was teasing her. Oh, I absolutely know that, Dawn. I was joking because Steve always says, well, last winter through the spring, he always says that I'm sending him our storms because there was a pattern for a really long time where we got a storm and then he got a storm. So I was relating to that. There you go. Okay, oranges are still green. Let us know how that turns out. Now, if it's under cover, then it also won't get frost. So you might be okay. As long as it doesn't freeze it solid, I think you might be okay. Yeah, let us know what happens. Vernon says, yes, Dawn, but don't cook them in an Instapot, as the birds were tough. Had to slow cook them for 6 hours to finish it off afterwards. I've cooked older birds in a Instapot, and they were not tough. I wonder what the difference was. But I've also like canned them and can't tell the difference between pressure canned old birds or pressure canned 8-week-olds. Yeah. Dawn says, in Texas, my friend's brother has all kinds of citrus trees. They have been frozen a few times, but the very last time they never made a comeback the next season. It's awesome that they came back for so long, and it's very sad that they had a final no-go. Okay, leaves still look good, and the fruit is just a bit brownish looking now. Okay, so at least the trees are surviving, if not the fruit. So at least there's that. The storm in Oklahoma is what? I don't know what you're talking about. Sorry, I'm eating because I did not get my snack in. Dawn says Instapot is a pressure cooker that would overdo them, I think. It doesn't always do them. It doesn't overdo them. It does make it very soft, though. So, like, to me, the pressure cooker and the crock pot have the same results. Just one is faster. I've used both for the quail. And you can stick a whole frozen rabbit in a pressure cooker, and you can cook it very quickly. 35 minutes for a rabbit frozen. But yeah, of course, it has to get up to temperature first. So it's probably more like 40, 45. Yeah. Uh-oh. You cooked them too long? So for quail, it's the same as chicken. It's 6 minutes per pound. Not frozen. And the pressure cooker. Yeah. Wednesday the 17th is Steve's guess from return of the eggs. Yeah. Yeah, Dawn says let's hope the leaves stay on the trees and next year they will get new fruit. So was it flowering yet, Andy? Because they generally citrus generally flower in winter and then fruit like the following winter. That's just my trees. Yeah. Can you even get Christmas lights that heat? Not in stores. Somebody has them. Go on next door. Go on Craigslist. There you go. Andy says I bought a few extra boxes of Christmas lights last month. Yep. Buster says the storm is going to stay north of you, but come Friday for 6 days will not be above freezing. All right, prepare. Andy Rabbit says yes, Don, I hope that too. Awesome. Val says they are calling it the beast from the east, this polar blast. Wow. Dawn says she's had storms from me too. It's not my fault. Berna says she was taught oranges need to freeze to sweeten. That's true with a lot of trees, of fruits, is just having that little cold snap or little cold frost will sweeten them for sure. Yeah. David's on here for a short time. Got around and see you. Thank you for stopping by. Yeah. And Don, you get to bring Christmas storms. Oh boy. All right. Don says Fortman 42 all day, but still got sleet and snow and rain. But I have all day tomorrow, and then come Friday, all snow, they say. Okay. So you're getting more. We're getting it on and off for a couple weeks now, it looks like. Yeah. Don says I use rope LED lights in my cages, and they do put off heat. I do as well. I have not felt them for heat, but that's an interesting. LED shouldn't be putting off heat, but I'm sure they put off some. Yeah. Okay, Andy Rabbit says, okay, here's a question. Would it be wrong if I told my granddaughter that chicken is rabbit? She wants her special bunny soup, and I'm out of rabbit meat right now. I don't know. I think, will she be able to tell is the question. How about you just have soup and not tell her what it is, and then ask her if she likes it? And then if she's like, I don't really like this, or this isn't bunny soup, then you can say, I'm sorry, I had to make it. That's what I would do. The LED full spectrum lights I have really, really put off heat too. Interesting. Maybe it's because maybe mine aren't full spectrum. I don't remember what mine are. Yeah. All right. We are going to start naming stuff. Did you guys think of names? So we have our Buck Bunny. He is a black New Zealand. Both mom and dad are broken, which means they have black and white. And his mom's name is Pineapple. Dad's name is Charlie. And yeah, looking for fruit-themed names. Fruit-themed names because his mom's name is Pineapple. So let me know your suggestions. Hoping to get a lot of suggestions on here so we can have our voting. All right. GMTA. I don't know what that is, Verna. I need your dictionary. All right. Let me get my little new blank document. Make it small so I can see everything. All right. What is Perot? Perot? What is that? My hubby told me she would never know. I would say don't call it bunny soup. Just ask her how to soup is. Char apple. All right. Yes, name time, Andy Rabbit says. Persimmon. Great minds think alike. I knew that one, actually. Didn't I? I did know that one. Jackfruit. Okay. Did you guys hear that? Yeah, the big boom. That is, I don't know how far away. Probably a block away. Probably not. Probably in the alleyway. That was a big boom that someone apparently forgot to put off on the new year. Oh, boy. All right. You're going back with bergamot. Okay. Bergamot. Round citrus. Fruit. You guys hear that one? Yeah, that's Gilroy. Are you guys actually hearing what I'm hearing? I don't know. Oh my gosh. Steve, is that a real thing? Snuff box? Because I know that's something else. You came prepared. All right. Man, you guys aren't yelling out names like with the other ones. Snuff box. It's very quiet now after that boom. Did you guys hear those booms? Or am I just telling you that it's happening? Yeah. So I'm really glad that he is back in action as far as eating goes, and that he's not scarfing his food terribly. That was ridiculous. He was eating so much and he didn't need to. Yeah, he really didn't need to. So I'm glad that he's not anymore. Steve's going after all the interesting things that people don't know. Andy, you ever heard it? Yeah, it's loud. And the windows are all closed. Cedro is a citron. Okay. Okay. You guys all thought really hard and came up with one name, huh? What is it? I need to look up Perot because I don't know that one. Okay. It's coming up with a person, but I know the person. Fruit. It is a... What? I put in this thing. I don't understand what it is. It's a compote. Oh, recipe or fruit soup. Interesting. I would not think of making a fruit soup. Oh, you're doing Italian fruit type. So Steve is trying to marry the two lines together with Italian themed and fruit themed. There we go. Dragon fruit. Val says maybe you could shorten persimmon to Percy. There we go. I will put that in there. Percy. Oops. Lumina is a pear lemon. We're just going to have to talk about all these fruits now. But Andy Rabbit says, but I like Jack because of two things, the fruit and it's winter. Steve says, you eat tomato soup. That's a fruit soup. I don't eat tomato soup. Tomato soup is pretty nasty, mostly because it usually has bell pepper in it. And bell pepper and I do not get along. Lychee. Oh, pluot is what you meant? Okay, I will change it to pluot. What for Verna? Yeah. Papeda is a group of citrus species from Asia. Papeda? Papeda. Papeda. That's fun to say. Or is it papeda? It's probably papeda. I don't know. So yeah, he needs a name. I am putting nest boxes in tomorrow. It will actually be day 27. Day 26, I kind of feel is a little too early. I've never had them have them on day 26. I was watching some videos from other people and they say day 27 or 28 is when they do theirs. So I'm like, I might change mine to day 27. They typically have, well, I don't know about these girls because they haven't had any yet, but my bunnies in the past have typically had 30th day or 31st day is when they've had their babies, their kits. So yeah. Kumquat, that's cute. Kumquat. And Andy says, oh, and jackfruit is a big fruit. It is a big fruit. It's like this big. Who here has had a jackfruit fresh? I would like to know that because that was pretty cool. Jambon, black plum. He is black. He is black. Jamon. It is from India. Oh, jackrabbit. Yeah. Wolfberry. Hey, we have wolfberry here. Wolfberry. It sounds like the buck. Aprium. Aprium. These are good names. We've got a few good ones in there, guys. All right. We have more. Oh, goldenberry. You're going scientific on me, Andy Rabbit. Phacelis. Kiwi. Someone else said kiwi to me in person. Kiwi. I know a person named Kiwi. Durian. That sounds like a durian. Like a big buff bunny. Durian's a good one. All right. Having fun with those. Yeah, he needs a name because if these bunnies come out, we got to know dad's name. You could name her Olive. It was a girl, so not if it's a boy, huh? Olive oil. A kiwi. Rebecca, I always say it wrong. Is that how it's said? Where's my little sheet here? Kiwi. I'm gonna look at that one up and see if that's the one I'm thinking of. It is coming up with. Let me look up fruit. Oh, yes, it is. That's one that I would like to grow. I had seeds of it from a friend who has it in Palo Alto. They don't taste very good. Like, they're not bad. They just don't taste like much. It's also known as chocolate vine, I think, because the flowers smell like chocolate. Yeah. Kiwi. Quince. Dawn had a lovebird named Kiwi. Oh, Joy's voting for kiwi. Steve says, I did not know olives were fruits. If it has a seed in it, it's a fruit. So a pit is a seed. It's a fruit. Pandanus. I don't know what that one is either. So that means I cook in fruit juice. There you go. What is the saying? It's what is it? Knowledge is knowing tomato is a fruit. Wisdom is knowing not to put it in a fruit salad. Something like that. I don't remember. Yeah. Cloudberry, huckleberry, cloudberry, huckleberry, salmon, Juneberry, dingleberry. We're not going to say that because, kiwis are common here. Hairy little things. They grow here too. Awesome. I have a friend that is like, she grows them in San Jose. She doesn't grow them in San Jose. She has a male and a female plant, and they grow on their own. They're like, I don't know, 30 years old, and they're really productive. It's awesome. I have not been able to get a female to grow here. I've gotten male to grow here, but I've had like 3 females that I've gone through. And so I don't know what's going on with that. The spot I want to grow them in is probably the wrong spot for her, but I kind of gave up on them for now. Maybe I'll try later. All right, rambutan. Tomato. Pomegranate. I never spelled that right. Dawn says dingleberry is common around here. Too many tards. Oh my gosh. My favorite scientific name for a bird. Anybody know? It's hilarious. The American robin has a hilarious scientific name. It is called Turdus migratorius. And I find that humorous. Yeah, for sure. Dingleberries has hard pits in them. I don't know about that. I don't go digging in them. All right. If they start with a flower, they have seeds, they're fruits. Squash is a fruit. Peppers are fruits. I think I eat way too many fruits. There you go. There you go. Yeah. It is kind of funny that we have that separated, and we have it separated by nutrient, which is important. But it is kind of funny that it's like, no, that is a fruit and that's a vegetable. It's like, no, that has seeds. It's a fruit. Lettuce is a vegetable. Celery is a vegetable. Artichoke is a flower. There you go. Yeah. All right. Well, I will continue to write down names if people have more names. So far, not all fruits are sweet. Some are savory too. That is true. I recently tried monk fruit, and that is very sweet. And the shell of that is also very sweet. Yeah. So like the outside part you can eat too. Dawn says, I have to go. I hate to. This is funny. Good night, though. Everyone stay safe, and that is getting ice and snow. You stay safe as well, Dawn. Good night. Good night. Steve says, leaves, stems, and roots are vegetables. I think roots are actually roots, and because they're not vegetative. I think. I don't know. We don't need to get into the debate about that, though. Oh, Buster says, Katrina, with all them names, you'll need more rabbits. You know, maybe one day when I have a bigger property. Find a bigger property for me and in Oregon. And maybe I'll get more rabbits. Everybody's saying good night, Dawn. Good night. Save these names for babies. Right now, all the babies are going to be for food. So, yeah. Yeah. So Verna, so she says, Katrina, you need to try stevia. It's like eating candy. I grew stevia for several years in a row. It actually reseeded in my yard for 2 years. And they sell it here in the nurseries named Sweet Leaf. But when you look at the scientific name, it's stevia. I'm like, yeah, it's stevia. What I have not done with it when I had it is actually use it. It was kind of like to show people, and then I forgot that I had it when I didn't have someone new in the yard. And then every once in a while I'd be like, oh yeah, here we go. And yeah, it is very sweet. It is very sweet. And it did self-seed a couple years. I think it was 2 years that it came up on its own. So yeah. Here we go. Well, since I knew that some people were leaving early, I wanted to get part of that naming stuff in first, because I know people get excited about that. So far we have plum, pluot, char apple, persimmon with Percy as a nickname, jackfruit, bergamot, snuffbox, cedro, dragon fruit, lumina, lychee, pepada, kumquat, jamun, wolfberry, aprium, physalis, kiwi, durian, akibi, quince, pandanus, cloudberry, huckleberry, salmonberry, juneberry, rambutan, tomato, and pomegranate. Which I said as I spelled them, and I misspelled. Let me fix that. All right. Let's see. Dawn saying good night. Steve says, how come things in pods are called legumes or beans, but peas grow in a pod and it's a fruit? I gotta get off Google. Peas are actually a seed, and so the things are okay. A legume is a group of plants that has this ability to fix nitrogen, take nitrogen from the air and put it into their bodies. They don't have bodies, into themselves, into their roots, and hold these little nitrogen packets. So like if you have clover, and that's really, that's also a legume. If you have clover, that's one that does it a lot. Fava beans do it incredibly good job. Here, they actually grow fava beans for the nitrogen fixing, not for the bean. And what you do is when it's half size above ground and basically an equal amount of roots die below ground, and they release by decomposition these nodes. They can be like that big, of white nodules of nitrogen into the soil. So they actually take nitrogen from the soil, or it's from the air, and put it into the soil, which is pretty cool. The pods that are like peanuts, those are the same as peas. Functionally, they're the same. So that is actually, the fruit is the pod, and then inside is the seeds. So the fruit is the peanut shell and all of that, and then inside are the seeds. And the way peanuts grow is they flower, is this little tiny flower, and then once they are fertilized, they grow from the plant that they're on. They grow this peg, and the peg can be like this long, little skinny peg, and it grows down into the soil, under the soil, and then fruits under the ground, which is pretty cool because it's like planting itself. So there you go. There you go. Yeah, hopefully it answers it. It says dry stevia and powder it, use it in your baking goods. It has an interesting taste that goes along with it. And I don't know if that goes away with the powder, with like if you were to dehydrate it or freeze dry it or something. Yeah. Yeah, like Val says, stevia leaves a lingering aftertaste, which I think would be fine for certain things and not fine for other things. Yeah. Steve says, good luck reducing that list down to 4. It was more with the Italian themed stuff. 46 degrees, or I don't know what the 46 is, Andy Rabbit. Verna says, not to me, but monk fruit does. Not a fan of monk. Interesting. So I had monk fruit, fresh monk fruit, and that did not have a aftertaste. And I've had stevia fresh, like the leaf, and that to me, it does have a slight aftertaste. Yeah. Yeah. Val says I'm not keen on monk fruit. I've not used it in cooking. I'm literally talking about like the fruit I've had, and it is super sweet. And it actually does have a little bit of an aftertaste, but it's an okay aftertaste. Yeah. Andy Rabbit just says peanut. Yay. Val says it's like coming to school and Katrina is a teacher. I learn something every week. That is the goal. That is the goal, to learn something everywhere you go. Bob says use raw honey in baking. I tried that for the first time with the pumpkin pie recipe that I have. And instead of, I think it's 1 cup of sugar, I used 3/4 cup of honey, I think is what the substitution was. And it actually turned out nearly the same. It was a little bit more dense and you could taste a little bit of the honey, but it was definitely something that was good for sure. And I do get raw honey that's here local. And the one I have now actually is from a conglomerate. These guys, I need to get in contact with him again, see if he wants to do a video. But these guys actually run basically an apiary that spans from Gilroy to Fremont, which is, it takes a while to drive there. And they have a thing where the homeowners they pay for the setup, they pay for the hive and the bees that come in and all that. And then they don't pay at all after that. And these beehives are managed by this small company, and they will come in, check on the bees, do everything that needs to be done with the bees. They come in, they harvest the honey, and the homeowner gets to have the bees there, pollinate their yards and have fun with that. And then they also have like a portion of the honey that comes from their hive. And what they do then, what the company does, is they take honey from all over that region and they mix it. So you actually are getting benefits from not just right here where you live, which is beneficial, but also kind of the outer skirts of where you live. And so that's pretty darn cool that they're able to do that. So there you go. Andy Hart says Val fun school though. Yay. And Buster says agree, Val. Oh, you guys are sweet. Verna says you get a little of the green taste, but is great in things like banana bread and such. Yeah, that's where I'm saying like it would be good in some things and maybe not in others. And I think that's with every sugar substitute. You either are going to have to change your taste buds, because it's still sugar, right? But you're either going to have to change the way your taste buds are accepting these things, or use this type in here and that type over there. I mean, the sugar that we get from the store is either from sugarcane or beets. And those are the 2 biggest productive things. And so, I mean, you're eating a root vegetable and you're eating a vegetable, because what they do is it's actually the stem. So that's pretty interesting, but it doesn't mean it's healthy for you just because it comes from a plant. Yeah, just because it comes from nature doesn't mean it's good for you. I mean, arsenic is little not good for you in larger amounts. You need some of it. All right. Val says, yes, it's fun. Yay. I'm glad you're having fun. Bob says, got to give the birds water one more time. Take care. Stay warm. You as well. And I hope that you figure out how to warm those little points there. Maybe, hopefully not gone, like a glow stick overnight. I don't know. Do those give off heat? I'm just thinking like something temporary that would only be like as long as his cage things. I don't know. Ideas. Steve says, making sugar from monk fruit. Monk fruit sugar doesn't affect your blood sugar level. Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of people have done a lot of research with that I do not know about. Verna says, blessings, Bob. And everybody's saying bye. Bye, Bob. Take care. Andy says, I need to get water bowls ready in case it freezes. 46 is needed before I add the bowls to the quail. Degrees. Okay. Well, good luck with that, and good luck with the citrus, because that's a whole nother story, huh? Val says, that's interesting, Steve. I'm diabetic. There's another plant that I have that I haven't done anything with since the year I planted it, and it's called yellow bells. It's a common, do not take advice from me, Medians. Let me make sure I'm spelling it right. This is a scientific name. Stands. Tacoma like the truck. So not a doctor, not giving medical advice. However, people make a tea out of this plant to have who are diabetic. And you can look up that information on your own, because I am not confident with that information. Most of the research that I tried to read was in Spanish. It's out of Mexico. It's a Mexican plant. So if you have someone that understands technical Spanish language, then you might get more out of it than I did. Manuel obviously speaks Spanish, but the technical part, there's some words that most people don't learn. Just like with the biology stuff, it's some words that most people don't learn unless you're in it. So yeah, I would look that up. And Verna's type 2 as well. All right. Hey, Ken. I forgot to set my alarm for the start of the show. Oh my gosh, Ken. You're late. Let's see if Andy Rabbit said that. No, she didn't say it. She was saying something the rest of us was late. Welcome. So the one thing that we talked about, we're naming the Buck Bunny, and he needs a fruit-themed name, and we all came up with a bunch of them. So if you have any fruit-themed names for a male rabbit who is black New Zealand, and his mom's name is Pineapple, let us know and we'll vote on it. Well, I'm going to narrow the list down because there's a lot of them already, but we will vote on it over the next week. Let us know. All right. Val says, I can't use stevia. It lingers all day. It has that like weird, it's almost like a coating in your mouth, right? Of that aftertaste stuff. Yeah. Steve says, Val, it's sweeter than sugar. You need less. Okay, you know what? This is ridiculous because I shouldn't still have this in here. I have my fanny pack. I use it as like a purse. I still have some of the monk fruit. I was going to give it to someone. I forgot. Okay. Here's a piece of the shell that monk fruit has. I don't know what they actually use for like the store-bought monk fruit, but here's a little tiny piece. I can smell it from here. It does smell a little bitter, and this is no longer fresh. So it was fresh in September. So let's try it. It's highly sweet. It also does have a little bit of bitter, kind of like dark chocolate. It has that bitter, but it doesn't have the chocolate flavor, obviously. But it's very sweet. Worth a try. I have not actually used the processed one. This is just literally the shell of the fruit.
I have random things, don't I, guys? That's going to go back in here until I forget about it and bring it out again for a party trick, huh? Yeah, someone brought that at the Heirloom Expo. After everything was done, we ate some fruit. All right, let's see what we have to say. That was very sweet. Andy used to live near Fremont. There you go. So you know what I'm talking about. Buster says hi to Ken. Everybody's saying hi to Ken. Steve says, "Oh, I'm not a doctor. I read it online at WebMD and 3 other places." So the Tacoma stands actually has real research behind it. It's just not in English, most of it. So from what I can tell, it has real impacts, but also from what I can tell, I was unable to determine like if there's a dosage or any of that, just because of my language limitations. So yeah. Ken says, I'll watch the beginning on the video posting. All right. Sounds good. Verna says, funny how you can love one thing and someone else can't stand it. We all have different tastes. Absolutely. And Steve says, that's right, Vay. Just think of me. You love me. And my kids can't stand me. Aww. No. Buster's laughing. Verna's laughing. All right. All right. Ken asks, if you add vinegar to water, does it prevent freezing of the water? I do not know. I do not know. The freezing of the water that we're talking about are for animal watering. And also specifically what Bob was talking about was he has these water cups that are the same as the ones that I have for the birds, and it comes through the line, and he's having it freeze right at the juncture where it comes out of the PVC into the cup. That's where he's having problems. So, yeah, but I do not know the answer to that. Anybody know? You counted your rabbits last night. If you didn't catch that, was that the 46? Okay, that was the 46. I thought 46 was degrees, Andy. I was like, that's pretty warm for freezing stuff, but whatever. And how many of those are babies? Val says that's why we have menus, because we are all different. Yep. Although there are some restaurants here that, oh my gosh, someone help me with this. The people that came here from, I want to say Portugal, and they have a lot of sheep. What are they called? Anyway, they have some restaurants around here that it's all family style, and that is what it is. That's whatever is there, and it's usually the same thing. I think there's like 2 options, and that's what you get. It's family style. Whoever's in the restaurant has it there, and I think you pay per person, and it's just family style dining. What are they called? I don't know what they're called. I know what they're called. It's not in my head. Vinegar? I don't know why you're saying that, Andy Rabbit. Steve says, be careful, Ken. Andy has been tough on tardiness. Don your armor. That's why I was scrolling down to see what she said. Oh, boy. Percy. You like Percy for persimmon? We're going to vote on the... you can come up with new ones, too. We're going to vote after I narrow them down. We're going to vote on the community page. There you go. Oh, Steve. Andy has 46 rabbits and can't make rabbit soup. That's a good question. All right. Ken says Percy derived from persimmons. So I think Val said that too. Somebody said that. So that is on the list. All right. What are the benefits of Tacoma stands?
it is supposed to be good for diabetic people. I do not know what it actually does. So that is, oh, you're looking it up. Wait, Verna's Googling again. Okay, Andy says vinegar freezes. Okay, I've never tried to freeze vinegar, so there you go. So Verna looked it up. Pharmacologically, can we say that faster? Tacoma Stands flower is traditionally used for many ailments. Okay, so the flower is chewed for stress relief as well. The leaves are used for tea. Again, not a doctor, and we're reading something off of Google. I'm guessing that's where she's getting it from. Traditionally used for many ailments, including cancer, diabetes, and arthritis. Tacoma Stands also show antioxidant, wound healing, anti-spasmodic, anti-prophylactic. Yeah, I can't talk today. Anti-inflammatory, antimicrobial, antifungal, and cytotoxic properties. And Hira says, "Off with your head." That's what I was expecting you to say. Sorry, Ken. She is having fun. Did you bring it up for the whole class? That little nibble, yes, for the amount of people in here, if you guys were all in my living room. Have like smell-o-vision, right? Taste-o-vision? I don't know. I don't know you want that. Val says, how random, Katrina. You just happen to have monk fruit. I told you come here for randomness, right? It was bigger, but it's been in my bag for since September. It's the shell. It's not the fruit. It's the outer shell. But yeah, it is very random. You're right. Andy Rabbit says, I do have one I will make soup out of sooner or later, but it's too cold to be outside getting my hands. Aha. So it's too cold to process them, huh? Too cold to type, I think, too. Might breed a few rabbits this week. That is good. No baby rabbits. Oh, those are all adults. Interesting. All right. Verna says, Katrina, what type of waters do you use for your rabbit's watering system? So I use it fits in the same thing that my other waterers for the quail and the chickens use with a plunger, but it is actually I think it's Rent-A-Coop. I think Rent-A-Coop makes them for rabbits. Let me look and see if I'm right or wrong. Rent-A-Coop rabbit waterer. Yes. They have a couple. Okay, well, it's not. Let's see. They sell them where it's just the cups. Here we go. It is this one. And I'm thinking about changing them for some of the rabbits. Some of the rabbits decide that they are going to move them, which means that we have a waterfall, and then we have some really well-watered compost underneath the rabbits, which is great for compost. Not so great for quail walking in it, and not so great for smell. So I'm considering other options. I know that there's the nipple waterers I've heard work really well and don't drip. These ones, the only reason why they're dripping is because the ladies are moving them. So I don't know. I gave them really big sticks today, so hopefully instead of little sticks, their sticks were getting really little. Hopefully maybe they'll stop messing with it. I don't know if they were messing with it because they were bored or I don't know. So they worked for a really long time. I don't know if I'll be keeping them or not, but I like that it's a natural drinking of the water. I really like that. So there we go. There we go. Steve says adding vinegar to water will lower the freezing temperature, although not substantially. Okay. Also, they might go. Buster says, I think some doctors should use Google. There's some stuff like that going on. I don't know. Google not everything you read online is true. Not everything people say online is true. You should always double check anything medical, including what I say, because I'm not giving medical advice. Yeah. Yep. I think doctors should be more educated in nutrition. That's what I think doctors should be more educated in. Where is Eric? He might be at church still. I don't know. He might be there. How long does it take to whittle a spoon? How big? My neighbor whittles spoons. I gave her some wood a couple of years ago from one of my peach trees. I had a branch that was like that big around that I cut off, and she's like, "Oh, can I have that?" I'm like, "Yeah." She whittled some spoons. But you were actually trying to step in for Eric and not actually asking a question, I see. How long does it take to whittle a spoon? A little while. A little while. Vernon is saying to get big farm to get money. I think that's probably true for some and not for all. I would just say that and leave it like that. Maybe that should have been whittle. Oh, with H. It's okay. I understood what you're saying. Yeah, and Andy gave you a real answer too. Steve, depends on how big you make that spoon. A small one, maybe 2-3 hours. And how nice it is and how much love you put into it, right? How big is a spoon? Val says, yep. Takes a little while. All right. Andy Rabbit says, on my phone, my back button is right over the send button. My thumb hits the send button sometimes. Oh, goodness. Now Val and Andy get it. Laughing at you now. You make a sign of that one? There you go. Yeah, Val says my phone does the same, Andy. It's frustrating when trying to send a text. I don't know why they place things in certain places. Yeah, it doesn't make sense. Yeah. How far am I from Fremont? Let's look on my phone and see if I can send myself to Fremont on my map. On my maps. Let's see how far I am today with no traffic, hopefully. Because it really does depend on that. Well, not the farness, but let's see. I am 49 minutes right now with no traffic. 48 miles. There you go. South on 101. Steve says, Andy Val, that's why some of my texts or messages is 9 cents long as opposed to 9 words. And the type is wood as well. Yep. How long is it going to take? Yep. Too far from Fremont, Ohio. Yes, not Fremont, Texas. Fremont, California, guys. I lived in Illinois for a couple years, minus the summer, because I did not want to be in the Midwest in the summer. Humidity is not fun. And lived in Macomb, which I know Steve has a connection there. And I worked in Havana, which is so funny because there is a Havana, Illinois. There is a Cuba, Illinois. They are not near each other. Yeah. I told someone when I went to Iowa in school, I did a volleyball visit. That doesn't make sense. Before I went to college in Iowa, I played volleyball for 2 years in college. So when I went there, I visited the volleyball coach and the volleyball team and all that. And they're like, "Oh, where are you from?" And I said, "Oh, I'm from Oregon." And because that's where I grew up. And she said, "What street?" That's when I found out there was an Oregon, Illinois. Yeah, it's pretty funny. Yep. Steve's hometown, Macomb, named after a general, right? There's a really good sandwich stop there. I also work for the Soils Lab in there too. They're good people. There's a Tennessee, yeah. And San Jose. Come on. San Jose, like San Jose, but without the, and they pronounce it San Jose. And Orion instead of Orion. Yeah, it's a weird state to have, very few names of their own.
Yeah. So Steve's saying there's a Tennessee, Illinois. When I told my mom I was moving to Tennessee, she thought I was moving 20 miles from here. Surprise. Oh boy. Andy Rabbit says, only on YouTube, though, the send button is normally a return button, so it really messes me up sometimes. Oh, you grew up in Hayward. All right. There's a Havana, Ohio, too. Oh, my gosh. Yeah. So, yeah, putting things in the wrong places. I always wondered, on a computer, on a typewriter, on something that you're doing this on, the 1 is down here, and the 7 is up here. Well, what is it on a phone? Why is it different? Why is it flipped? That's so annoying. I don't understand. All right. Moving on. Monopoly was invented in Macomb. All right. I did not know that. My brother used to play that by himself. Against himself. I don't think he does that anymore. Val says, I'm sure it will be therapeutic to whittle spoons. I have a vision of an American porch and someone in a rocking chair. There you go. There's an Oregon, Ohio, too. Oh, my gosh. Alexander Macomb, a general in the War of 1812. Yep. I lived there for 2 years minus the summer. There's a Houston, Missouri. It's in Texas County. Yes, he did win all the time, Steve. Monopoly. Yeah, we were not allowed to touch the board for like days on end. It was a little ridiculous, but that's okay. Yeah, if you're ever in Macomb, they're the sandwich shop, and I don't remember what street it's on, but it's really, really good. I swear they do something to the lettuce. They must season it with something special. Really good. Yeah. And also, the bald eagles near there come for the winter. That's also very, very cool to see. Yeah. I know, Steve. Houston, Delaware is pronounced Houston. There's a Macomb, Ohio, too? Oh, my gosh. No original names. Was it Portland, Oregon was named by a coin flip? And it was either going to be Portland, named after Portland, Maine, or something else. And I don't remember what something else was. But I remember learning that in school. I'm like, really? We named a town after a coin flip? Yeah. There's also a Nowhere, Illinois. Oh. The pronunciation is annoying to you? Yeah, I agree. I agree, Andy Rabbit. Macomb, Georgia. There you go. At least that's after a person, though, right? I mean, I don't know. It's funny. All right, so no more bunny names, huh? No more bunny names? So did everybody notice, or did anybody notice Penny's leg, her foot before the video from today? I'm just curious because nobody said anything. There's a Hell MI, Mississippi. So hell does freeze over. Oh boy. Steve says, Katrina, that coin was a penny and can be viewed in the Historical Society. It's funny how we save stuff that really doesn't matter. Like, this is of historical significance. Because some guy didn't have a quarter. I mean, really. There you go. Anyway, I'm just wondering about that. Buster's laughing at Verna. Yeah, Verna says, nope, never knew about Penny and half a foot before today. Yeah, I was hoping someone would bring it up, and then no one did. And then I got that slow motion footage, and I'm like, I should probably bring this up before somebody does. Yeah, she, you can see in the videos where we put her in the hutch. We moved her into the rack and
house, you can clearly see, I have her by the chest and then I flip her butt up and you can clearly see the foot is not entirely there. And it's a birth defect. So I looked back and, you look back in the pictures to when she was really little, a couple days old, and yep, there you go. It's a birth defect. So I thought that was an interesting thing that nobody had brought up, but she is doing good. She really liked the new chewing stick I got her. Yeah. And Rabbit says there's a California, Missouri too. There you go. If Penny has half a foot, does that mean it's only good for partial luck? We'll see when she has to try to have babies. We'll see. Yeah, Buster says no, never seen that on Penny until your video today. And you wouldn't if it was fast. If it was normal speed, I don't think people would notice. I was kind of waiting for people to notice though, and nobody did. So there are lots of animals that do completely fine with different either injuries or birth defects and do completely fine. So she's been doing good. Okay. Verna's getting technical here. Hugging the bank of the Ohio River in the eastern reaches of Cincinnati lies the village of California, the hills of Kentucky, and the mighty Ohio River. That sounds like a place you only need to go once. Yeah. No, I want to know if anybody else has had animals with a birth defect or that got injured that you would think would affect them but didn't. I would kind of want to hear you guys' stories on those because I know I've observed these things. Like I have observed a handful of dogs that had to have amputations and they were completely just as fast without one of their legs. And I know I was on a job site. There was a 3-legged rabbit and it was going around just fine. And there was, I think that's mostly as dogs and then that one rabbit. But I know these injuries happen and these birth defects happen all the time. I'm wondering what your guys' experiences are about that. And a reminder to the Katrina's Kits or people who want to be Katrina's Kits. We're doing that Saturday, this Saturday at 11 a.m. Pacific time. And if you're not signed up and you want to be, this is a members only event and you want to sign up to be a member, you can click that link and that'll go get you to the right place. And there you go. That is happening on Saturday. We are making pear ricotta raviolis. I'm using pear butter. You guys can use pear butter or pears. And with a roasted garlic sauce. That's what we're making on Saturday. So there we go. Let's see. Steve says we have a cat. His name is Lucky. He only has one eye and half a tail. Wow. Does he have a story about that, or is he born like that? Then he is lucky. And Verna says never experienced anything like that personally. You didn't know that before you named him. How did you not know that before you named him, or did it get injured? Verna says, or they can simply click the join button. Oh, yes, you can also do that. Thank you, moderator Verna Place, Faye's Place. There is a join button below. However, if you are on Apple, there is no join button, or there might not be a join button, and you will go to that link to see how to join. I think it's pretty silly that they don't want to talk to each other, Apple and Google. Thank you, though, for that obvious tip, Verna. Val says, yes, I'm a sucker for runts. Got several. One quail with a neuro problem, one small rabbit with a twisted leg. as long as they're doing good and they are not in pain, that's good. And I know Epsom salt baths have helped. I had an injured rabbit. It got stuck in the hay basket, which is why you don't see hay baskets in my stuff anymore, because it was hanging from its back leg from the hay basket. No idea. Like, it must have just popped up. There's a certain age at which these baby rabbits just explode in the air and like land wherever, kind of like the quail do. And they're just happy and popping up everywhere. I think it must have landed up there, and I think it was there for a while, but I actually got it. I got it so that I could not tell that one from the other ones. And it was dragging its leg behind, just with Epsom salt baths and massages and little physical therapy, taking its little leg and, going like that. So Epsom salt baths, I mean, again, not a medical professional, just a person who's used them for several sprained ankles and all sorts of muscle things. Yeah. Vernon needs more coffee. Steve says he was a kitten we rescued off the streets. As he matured, we realized he had a problem with his eye. Oh, and the vet had to remove it. Val says the rabbit was dumped in your car? Oh my goodness. Wow. Hopefully it's a good rabbit. Steve says we just thought it was normal tail, but as he grew, the tail did not. Not sure if defect or injury before we got him. Okay. Andy Rabbit says I had a mama rabbit over clean her babies and chewed either one or both ears off every baby she had. Rabbits keep cool themselves with the ears. This on a rabbit had no ears at all. Oh my gosh. And she did wonderful during the summer. Oh my goodness, that's traumatic. That's very traumatic. Yeah. That's traumatic, Andy. Yeah. But animals, they keep on going. They keep on going for sure. I know I had a quail that likely hit its head probably on the side, not the top of the aviary. That's the thing when we talk about like the height an aviary should be, they can still hit the side. So things can still happen. But she hit something and she was barely moving and like kind of on her back, and I had to push her over, and it just wasn't in me to call her. And she actually made a full recovery after like a month and a half, and got back to laying, and it was pretty impressive. I probably shouldn't have done that. She probably did hurt some. I mean, she's gone now, but it did take some time to have that heal. So I like to see if the animals heal, and then if they're in obvious distress, obvious pain, obvious things that are not going to work out for them, if there's a break or something, then it's a different story. But I like to kind of trust that they're going to do okay. And usually they do. Sometimes it doesn't work, but usually they do. Yeah. Verna's back. All right. Verna, how long was your daughter there? Is she there still? And hello. Yeah, Val says I was the same, Katrina. I couldn't call him. He's called Sid. Is that after the Ice Age movie? Everyone loves him. Oh. Steve says I had a quail that used to jump up against the side of the cage all the time, not flushing, and it would do it often. She lived for quite a while before I ate her. Yep. Andy Rabbit says I didn't use her as a breeder. I didn't make a soup out of that litter, but the fact they were growing out during the heat, I was just a little proud they were heat tolerant. Yeah, without the ears, for sure. For sure. Oh, awesome, Verna. She was here for
few hours. She lives 45 minutes away. That is awesome. That's very awesome. Yeah. Good New Year surprise. Yeah. Yeah, the reason why rabbits' ears are so big, I mean, hey, yeah, they hear, but it's mostly for heat exchange. Same thing for elephants. They have the bigger ears. It's for heat exchange so that their blood vessels are close to the ears. They're close to the edge of the skin in the ears, and then that extra heat can be lost. Yeah. Brenda says she's interested in my hobbies, as she calls them. Yep. Yep. That's good. Good news. Good news. Yeah. Val says he's got his own cage, adapted. My place is more of a rescue center. Hey, that's all right. That's all right. You know how to handle them. You know how to help them. And that's good. Yeah. When I was in 5th grade, I rescued a lizard that had a broken leg. I didn't really know what I was doing. But me and 2 of my friends in school, we got special permission. It's just a fence lizard. We got special permission to have this lizard in class. We made a little harness out of string for him, and we caught ants to feed him. He lives in a terrarium, and every few days we would hand it over to the next person. And we were healing this lizard that we didn't do anything for the leg, but it lived for quite a while, and then it died. So I have no idea what it died of, but yeah, we had it for a while. Like I said, got special permission from the school to bring it in because it needed us, or so we thought. Yeah. Val said, oh, here I said that. Steve says, Val, did you start rolling your windows up and locking doors after that gift? Yeah. Buster says, get her started with quail. Oh, allergic to the dander. That is unfortunate. That is unfortunate. Yeah, I'm glad I'm not allergic to dander of any sorts, as far as I know. Good so far. Yeah. Val says, we have a turkey with one eye. It costs over 300 pounds to have the eye removed. The vet couldn't believe that I would spend that much on her. Well, when it's part of your family, right, you're going to spend the money. And that's important to know. Know which animals are animals you would spend money on and which animals you would not. And that's important. I think it's important to make that decision before there is a need to. And you're free to change your mind after that, for sure. But just having that in your head, like if something goes wrong with one of the quail, okay, maybe we'll just eat it or process it. If I had a dog, that'd be different. So yeah, for sure. Know what you're doing and what you're going to do. Yeah. Steve says, Lucky has cost us a lot of money for an animal that you get off the streets. I think Lucky was lucky to find you guys. For sure. Yeah. There were 2 little baby kittens, like little, that followed me home from the bus stop one day when I was little. 7/10 of a mile to the bus stop to the house, and followed me home. And actually then saw our cat, which we had an outdoor cat. Not really a fan of outdoor cats. The cat you guys see in my videos is not my cat. It's a neighbor's cat that thinks it lives here. But my cat was also truly mentally retarded. She had a very, very high fever when she was little and came out of it with one crossed eye. So there was definitely brain damage that happened with that fever. And I mean, she did some kind of funny things. We still loved her. But she was very scared of these kittens, and she
went into, we had a cat door that goes into the workshop, and so that's where she lived. And she went in there, and then the kittens followed her, and then you just see this white streak as she zoomed across the yard. So, yeah. Anyway, I ended up finding homes for them, but she was not going to have it. She did not know what those things were. Andy Rabbit says, I had a rabbit that had babies that were just popping out of the nest box. So what about 2.5 weeks old? One morning, Mama was just laying down. I thought she was dead, but she hurt her back, I think. For the sake of the babies, I left her. She laid there around 5 days. Then one day she was up and running around like nothing happened. She raised her babies up and is still alive, doing great. That is amazing. And you hear about these things happening too. I mean, in a case like that, I might use Epsom salt baths and try and feel if there's anything I can feel or anything not. That's just me. That's what I would do. But it is amazing how they recover. And sometimes, in inflation is the word I want to say. That's not the right word. Inflammation. Sometimes inflammation can be so large and so disabling that it just needs to calm down before you know what's actually going on. And with people too. I mean, yeah. Verna says, wow, Andy. Yeah. And the babies were born April of last year. Wow. Val says, I lived in the middle of nowhere and you didn't lock up. Some obviously thought that because I had a lot of animals, I was a soft touch. I get lots of cockerels dumped over here, over the fence. Oh my gosh. I mean, at least they know where to go. It's like, maybe you don't really want to do all that with the animals, but at least they're doing that and not in the middle of the highway. Steve says, we had a cat that when he walked, he would walk in circles and scream. It took him a while to get from point A to point B. Oh, wow. Wow. Yeah, and Steve says that's one way to get rid of your extra cockerels or extra roosters. Wow. Base Play says, well, all the weather is going around me. The sidewalk is dry. Are you looking at the radar? And Val says, that's brilliant, Andy. Yep, I agree. Steve says, my sidewalk has 3 inches of water on it. More coming. Oh my gosh. I mean, I hope we get rain. I really do. I still have a feeling we're going to get a lot of rain. It hasn't happened like last year yet, but I have a feeling it will. And I don't know when that will happen. But yeah, that's my prediction still. I know we're supposed to get rain tomorrow in the morning-ish, and yeah, go from there. We've been pretty cold too. We've been in the 50s in the daytime. 50s, high 50s, low 60s is usually what it is. Yeah. 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 Anyway, does anybody have any more naming suggestions for our little boy, new Buck Bunny? I have a lot of good ones, and I'm going to have to narrow it down. Verna says, it says the rain will continue for several hours. I don't see any rain outside. It's okay. It's okay. Goji. Goji is Verna's other suggestion. All right. Val says, I can cull those cockerels, as I have no personal attachment to them. You can't rehome them, and if you advertise them, then you don't know what they're going to do with them. Yep. Aren't you supposed to name boys after their dad? Their dad's name is Charlie, and I think his name is Charlie because he is a Charlie, because he's a mixture. I mean, he has the white and the black. I mean, different cultures have different things, right, Steve? Andy says, when my 38-year-old was 3, I was in the shower. My daughter came running in and said he put the kitten in the microwave. I ran through the house. The kitten was alive the last time I saw the cat. Oh my gosh, I would leave if I was that cat too. Was 8 months old. He was like 8 weeks when it happened. Cat was the same size. This is the day he put in. Oh my gosh. Never could really tell if it was boy or girl though. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I would definitely be running and to get that out. Yeah. And hopefully your 3-year-old learned to not do that. Yeah, that's not good. That just says that's crazy. Yep, that is crazy. Okay, so Andy Rabbit has a suggestion for Val. Says I would post a post at my town Facebook group saying thanks for dinner. Okay. Val says in our family all the males are named after their dad, and those are human people. Yeah, and that's I think culturally some is mom, some is dad. Most of it's dad that I know about, but I'm not in most cultures. So there you go. Opens up a whole other name line. I mean, you want to call him Chaplin? We can call him Charlie Chaplin. Or Charlie Brown. He's black though. We're going with fruit themes because that way we stick with the food theme and it's fruits. There we go. Yeah, I always kind of wonder how people name their animals. I like that you guys help me name stuff. It's kind of fun. It's kind of fun. Yeah, the previous rabbits that I had, along with Parmesan, they came with their names, and the lady who had them happened to do Italian food names, so that's where their names come from. That's not from me. So yeah. There we go. I don't know. How do people name things? Name animals, name kids. I don't know. Oh, okay. So Verna's saying what Steve is saying, all the males that buck produces should be fruit and the females would be Italian foods. I mean, they're all going to, I'm expecting at this point for a very long time that they are all going to be sent to freezer camp or sold to people. So that's what I'm expecting. Yeah. Oh, Andy Rabbit says daughter got bit by the kitten. Yeah, I can see why too. I can see why. You get in the car and take a ride? Probably because you wanted to get away. Yeah, Steve, that's exactly it, except the ones she eats. That's the one, that's what I'm saying, is that they're all for the foreseeable future going to be destined for food. And now we have to get to have babies first. Like that's the first step, right? So I'll be putting in nest boxes for both ravioli and rigatoni tomorrow. I think rigatoni was first and then ravioli was like the next day or the day after. I always put them in the same day, just that way I only have to remember one date. And yeah, so they'll go in tomorrow and hopefully that'll be good. And both of them are getting really shaggy. They're going through a shedding right now and they have little like fluffs on their butt. It's pretty funny. Oh, Andy Rabbit, you think he hitched a ride? The kitten hitched a ride out? Got out of Dodge?
Could be. One time I saw, when I was little, I was at the bus stop waiting for the school bus, and our neighbor came down. They had like, I think it was like a big Suburban. And there was a cat like this on the roof. And we like, stop. And she did not know that the cat was on the roof. However, that cat had taken trips before on the roof all the way to the next town, like half an hour away, highway speed. So it was not a new experience, but I'm glad we stopped her that time and said, hey, you have a cat on your roof. I don't know what the cat was holding on to, because I don't even remember them having like the what are they called, like the roof racks. Maybe they did. I don't remember. Yeah. Anyway, there you go. Verna saying, blessings all. I have a couple things I need to get done. Good night, Verna. Thank you for moderating and being here. Thank you. Everybody saying bye. Yeah. Anyway, so that's my story. And it's coming on 8 o'clock. Does anybody have anything else they want to share or ask questions about, or another fruit themed name to add? I am going to, so if people are going to watch like maybe the next day or something, I'm going to hold off on choosing the names, and you guys can put comments in this video, and you can comment some fruit themed names if they haven't already been said, probably for the next couple days. Let's say the next couple days. I'll put out, let's say Thursday, I'll put out the poll. And we might go another week. Next Monday is a holiday. I'll be here. Martin Luther King Day, but I know lots of people go out of town, so there you go. All right. Val is feeling peckish. I am hungry. Everybody saying bye. Oh my gosh, you guys have a family reunion in August. Wow. Ken says, here's a name, Barry, derived from berry. I like it. Let's do it with Barry. And Andy Rose says, a couple of weeks ago, I had someone do the same thing to me. My cat was on my van roof. I don't have anything up there for her to hold on to. I was happy they stopped me. Yep. Steve says, Martin Luther King Day, going out of town. Are they all coming to Memphis? Probably not. I don't think I'm going anywhere. I think I am staying home and getting things done. Yes. And Val says, good night, everyone. Keep safe. Yes. Have a safe storm. It seems like everybody's having storms. So yeah, have a safe time. We'll be back next Monday at 6 p.m. Pacific time. And I don't know if we're going to announce a name then or not. We'll see. I will see how much action we get on the poll and go from there. And maybe how many people put comments in here. See about that. But I would say the closing of the naming, let's say Wednesday night, midnight. Closing of when you can comment on here and have that name count, because then I will make a decision, and on Thursday I'll put up names on the community page, which the community page, I don't have it on here, but there's a community page. You can check that out on there. All right. Anybody else have anything to say? All right. Andy says jackfruit is my favorite next to kumquat. There you go. Those are both good. They're both good. We got a lot of good names. I have to narrow it down. Might have to get some help. All right, guys. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. And yeah, enjoy the week. Those who are going through storms, be safe. We're going to get some rain here. Hopefully we get quite a bit, but not too much. What is that, huh? And we will see you here next Monday, unless you are a Katrina's kit or you want to be. I will put that
in here at the very end, just so that anybody who wants to join us can. And we will be cooking on Saturday, 11 a.m. Pacific time. Buster, you're welcome. Says thanks, Katrina, for the live. Thank you for joining us and have a wonderful evening. We will see you later. Good night.